You have to understand him very well to know who he is. He practiced for a short time before he went to the Senate. And he was more or less one of the pioneers in our profession. And as soon as he became a lawyer, people who wanted him in politics did not allow him to rest. And after his tenure at the Senate, he elected to write books and be one of those who pointed out errors in society as he saw them. But he didn't want to continue to pursue political offices.
We came into NPN from some of us from the UNBC and maybe a few from some other parties. But we agreed that we should come together and work for the interests of Benue State. I have always drawn the attention of a number of people that during our NPN days, the NPN won election with the average of 34%. The various elections, that 79, they got that 34%. The other parties, the opposing parties, took 66, but none of them got enough to compete with NPN's 34%. That's why NPN was a majority. So Muchia is a person who is always calculated. And he thinks well of our state. He's one of those who believe that we should succeed in the progress of Benue State. It was because we knew him to be a good representative, and that's why he went to the Senate. And as you can see, years later, he wrote a book titled Adamwade Kohoga, and that is painstaking in writing such a book also. That is Somuchia.
Okay. Now, there's a lot to learn from Somuchia's life. Having been trained as a lawyer, instead of practicing, I remember a book he wrote, Adamwade Kohoga, something very interesting book he wrote. And as a leader, leadership is about selflessness. That is what it is about. It's not like these days where politicians think about themselves. In fact, they have said that politics is a game of interest. That's the way they describe it. They say it's interest, and that interest is strictly their own interest. It's not the interest of the people. So selflessness is what defines leadership. So I think the kind of life he has lived is worth emulating.
He's a living senior person in the legislative. In those days, he's a gentleman. He doesn't involve himself in things that will bring him down. He's a progressive human being. I have a very good father. He is not a corrupt person. Because at that time, the money they do pay him, I think that is the money that he used to build that house that you are seeing.
So as we round off, do you have areas of regret in life?
I wouldn't say I have. Because when I met people and they later turned against me, I have no reason to regret. I made them what they were for purpose. And once they achieved the purpose, my goal was met. But if they turned against me, I just ignored them. But that is exactly what has been happening to me.
And finally, advice for Nigerians.
We want development. We want to move forward. And it is the quality of person you make as a leader that will give you the development. Not the money the person will give you. The money they will give you is buying your conscience. So that whatever if the president get into power, whatever he does, your mouth will be shut. Because he bought the leadership from you. So people should be guided by their conscience to get the right caliber of people into power. Because we don't vote people from the skies. People come from heaven to earth. People will not. It is people we know. We live with them. We move with them. We operate with them. We know them. So we should know the right caliber of people to put into power. Because the leadership, the development of the people depends on the leadership, and the leadership depends on the quality of person you put there. If you put a wrong person as a leader, then you get a poor outcome, poor leadership, and you not move forward. So as people, we grow among ourselves, we mingle among ourselves, we know each other. We know who is a performer and who is a non-performer, who is a good person and who is a bad person.
Well, we've listened to Senator Swemutia, a legal practitioner of over 50 years experience, former commissioner in the Benue Plateau State, former secretary of the NPN in Benue State, and a second Republican senator under the NPN between 1979 to 1983. Sir, thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. And this is where we draw the curtain on our program Conversation with History. Thank you for watching.
You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on the link, then NTA. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International. Your window through the world.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Art is as old as humanity, as man has always found means of self-expression through any available material. With the advent of technology, digital illustration has emerged as a veritable form of artistic expression.
Basically, illustrations are pictures in between short stories. and of course they're used to represent the thing that is being told. You only find illustrators actually, of course, that is the truth. And then we try to send the story by creating pictures for a tale. You have a storyline, and then you want it to be actually, you want to actually go through, pass the message through properly. So you have to come to us and create the visuals for you in the form of digital posters, that is illustrations. You can find them anywhere, libraries, posters. You can see posters around major places, even in arts and culture. Yeah, you can see big bookshops and all. You can find these books.
How are you faring?
I'm very well, very well, very well, because it never used to be like this. Initially, the way it is. You're going to study fine arts, and then you're wondering, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to go study one funny structure? So, but the idea is that it still remains that you have to be consistent. You don't have to delve into an idea of trying to look for one fast idea, one fast part to get involved. We've been here for a while, so I think over the years, that's been like when we're coming up, the process of build yourself, you're getting better. I never used to do digital illustrations. I never used to do that. I used to work, but yeah, this is smooth, this is sweet, this is digital. And then when you not digital, people just think that, what are you doing? Are you trying to, is it like maybe it's a computer work? But I'm still the artist working on it now. This is a pen, and an electronic pen, and this is work on tablet. It's just the way it's free. Very sensitive. The way you apply your pen, it comes out the way it is, as if you're using your biro or your pencil on paper. So it's still me doing the same thing I used to do back in paper, but the process here is different. The advantage is that it is better, finer, not that easy, because you have to sit down for a long time. But like when I'm using paper, I can just start talking, walk around and stuff. But this have to be there because you have a lot of applications you need to make use of. You have to use this application or using the other one. You have to be very, very focused, of course, so you can get achieve what you're looking towards and looking forward to achieving. So these are the basic things that makes it better. And of course, this lasts longer. It's electronic, so it's going to stay for a longer period. I'm not saying the paperwork is not going to be better. Of course, we print them out and then we use them for kids and all, but this process is better. That's the way I see it, though.
What are the challenges faced in this line of business?
This kind of work doesn't come often. And of course, we've built ourselves to that point where we don't just think that, of course, where you are is going to be where you're going to be all the while. I'm saying that sometimes you have some workload of, choked up with works from clients, and then you're there very busy. And sometimes you're not doing anything. You understand? But because it's been there over the years, you understand that it's not all the time you should have something doing. So certain times I don't sleep. I'm not talking about don't sleep for just 1 day or 2 days. I'm talking about months. I won't sleep. I have to sit down in one place for a long time. Sometimes my hair will grow out. I'll just be in one place trying to make sure I finish the task. Not just with one client, with a couple of clients. But I don't like to juggle up clients. But if I know that I could round up this job in the next 10 days, another client could come in. And of course, I'll give you some time. And look, this is when your work will be ready. And then of course, by the time I get to that point, I'll be able to achieve it. So I could be doing a couple of jobs at the same time. I could be in there for a long time. You wouldn't even see me for like a month. Maybe I'll just come out briefly and then go back. So the idea of challenges, there are a lot of challenges. One of the challenges is you might be there without doing anything. It's going to be like, what is this guy doing? I'm not doing anything now, but then the time I don't work, I'm happy. Because it's like I could sleep. Because when they pump in some jobs for you, oh wow. Somebody tell me, I read this book in the next 1 week. I read one. So you have sometimes.
Latest entry to the latest technology. Welcome to Intel 4G LTE Advanced and experience super fast internet access today. Visit intel.com.ng or any of our stores in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt to get started.
Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Please remember that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website nta.ng/live and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen. We begin Nationwide by joining Adeola in our Lagos Network Center for an update on the collapse of a building at Oba Oniru Road. Adeola, what a disturbing story most Nigerians woke up to this morning.
Indeed, Ayo, very disturbing and a sad Sunday for those involved. 2 dead bodies have so far been recovered from a 7-story building still under construction at Obaidowo New Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, which caved in early hours of Sunday morning. Amaka O has an update.
According to eyewitnesses, the building showed warning signs in the early hours of Sunday morning, which prompted some construction workers numbering about 9 residing in the building to escape before it eventually collapsed at about 2 a.m.
We had some noise that breaking blocks are coming down. Then the bricklayers that are living inside there, most of them, they have been shouting to their friends that something is about to happen, something is about to happen. Then as we had the shouting, in 2 minutes, then the building collapsed.
When I come out with my family, I can't even find my children because everywhere was covered. What we found there is the building has collapsed completely.
The emergency respondents are grappling with limited time to rescue more persons trapped, as they are also intensifying operations to evacuate rebels to ground zero. Heavy-duty tools and equipment have been deployed to the scene to hasten the process.
The hammer excavator was used at the outer conduit. The other shovel excavator was used at the middle and at the inner conduit. And you can see that we continue to move from the top to ground zero steadily. 45 to 1 hour, we recovered 2 dead bodies. And since then till now, we have not been able to recover any more. The 2 dead bodies were recovered on the 3rd floor, and all the trapped people who are said to be trapped on the 3rd floor. We have exited 3rd floor now, close to 1st floor, but we are still working towards the area.
Residents of the area say construction of the affected structure began last year and is still ongoing before the unfortunate incident.
It's raining right here, and all the government agencies responsible for rescue operations are on ground as they have deployed all the necessary facilities to ensure swift response and evacuation of the rubble of the building that caved in the early hours of Sunday. From Victoria Island in Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
And we expect to get an update from that side as rescue operations are still ongoing. Moving on now, wrong interpretations of injunctions in Islam as regards the role of religion in governance has remained the bane of extremism in political spheres in some parts of the country. Speaker, Lagos House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, made this remark at this year's Hijra lecture organized by the Lagos State House of Assembly. Musa Toliad reports.
The gathering of these Islamic scholars underscores the importance attached to sharing Islamic knowledge to set the record straight on injunctions relevant to ensuring good governance in any given society. The focus of the event is the role of religious bodies in a democratic state. Speaker, Lagos House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa emphasized the need for religious leaders to give guidance to political office holders rather than mixing politics with religion.
Religion has to do with the belief. Each individual has right to participate in any faith office or a church, and that should not be to create effort and that's what we have done today. After we have passed application electoral period, we look at the video, particularly from Islamic faith, to come and tell us what and what should be kind of guidance for everybody.
It was an event that provided a platform for Islamic scholars to call for religious tolerance and urge electorates to look out for competence among the political gladiators rather than focusing on religious affiliation of candidates.
True religious teachings must be founded on truth. There is no justification for falsification of message, for manipulation of people's mind, just because we have a selfish end that we are seeking to attain. Adala, justice, equality must also take the lead in the messages that come from the pulpit.
Hijra is the commencement of a new Islamic year, and the event is the 14th edition of the Hijra lecture in series organized by the Lagos State House of Assembly. In Lagos, Musa Toliad, NTA News.
And those are the reports from Lagos. Aya, if you're there, it's time for you to take over.
Thanks, Adiola, in our Lagos Network Center. The President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, has commended Yobe State government for placing the 31-year-old state on the trajectory of sustainable socio-economic growth with the inauguration of Gashua ultra-modern markets to boost commercial activities and the internal revenue base of the state. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
Named after the President of the Senate, Ahmad Ibrahim Lawan, the multi-billion naira Geshua Ultra Modern Market is one out of the 4 modern markets initiated and constructed by Yobe State government. With hundreds of shops of different sizes, the market is equipped with modern facilities to provide conducive environment for businesses to thrive and was registered as a limited liability company to guarantee effective revenue collection and remittance to the government.
As part of our appreciation of what you have done here for us, I want to announce here that the Sale Foundation is going to make 200 million naira available to 400 traders and small businesses in this zone.
The market is expected to stimulate increased economic activities that will enhance job opportunities and income generation for our people and promote internal generated revenue.
Meanwhile, a grand reception was organized by Yobe State government in honor of one of its illustrious sons, President of the Senate Ahmad Ibrahim Lawan, for his numerous contributions to the development of the state and Nigeria as a whole. The governor, Memala Buni, who was among various speakers at the gathering, described the nation's chief lawmaker as an apostle of a united Nigeria whose passion for an indivisible Nigeria is uncommon. In the Matru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
The Nigerian Navy ship Victory of the Eastern Naval Command has intercepted and handed over a suspicious truck with an unspecified amount of automated gas oil to the Cross River Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Maureen Leo Ajom reports.
Of its zero tolerance on economic sabotage, especially oil theft, the NNS Victory Calabar seized 33,000-litre truck laden with unspecified quantity of automated gas oil along Harbour Junction, a route leading to NNPC Depot Calabar. NNS Victory Calabar-based intelligence officer who handed over the seized truck to the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps said the truck driver escaped, leaving the truck behind as soon as the truck was spotted.
Whatever feat we have achieved is in line with the Chief of Naval Staff strategic directive that is being channeled by the Flag Officer Commanding Eastern Naval Command and also implemented by the Commander Nigerian Navy Ship Victory. So, and all these, they have states their resilience to stamp out criminalities and legalities within NS Victory area of responsibility and Eastern Naval Command area of responsibility in general.
We find out that yes, we don't have pipelines, but the channels we have, the water channels, are the channels that are always used to smuggle this product. The synergy has really helped us so much in reducing oil theft.
The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps noted that the synergy with other security agencies, especially the Nigerian Navy, has gone a long way to reduce oil theft and other forms of economic sabotage in the country, while promising to carry out proper investigation into the matter. In Calabar, Maureen Ajon, NTA News.
In a related development, the Kebbi Command of the Nigeria Customs Service in the month of August intercepted contraband worth about 100 million naira, including cannabis sativa and foreign fertilizer, among other contraband. The controller of the command, Joseph Atta, stated this at the end of the month press briefing.
Of August, the command heightened its anti-smuggling offensive against smugglers and engaged in strategic meetings with traditional rulers and other organizations, aimed at changing the narratives as far as fighting smuggling is concerned. This, he noted, led to the seizure of assorted contrabands and improved the revenue generation in the command. He said 389 wraps of cannabis sativa, 20,600 liters of premium motor spirit, 75 bags of fertilizer concealed in an animal feed sacks, 22 bags of foreign parboiled rice, vegetable oil, sugar and others were intercepted. He appealed to the parents of youths who fraternize with smugglers and frustrate men of the command in carrying out their legitimate duty to desist from the act, as it is prehensible and punishable under the laws of the country.
I hope that people listen to these respected elders and go ahead with this emerging public trend of supporting smugglers against the great authorities.
Receiving the seized cannabis sativa, the commandant of National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency, Kebbi State, commended the effort and called for improved synergy among sister agencies.
Can appreciate the area controller and his management team for the synergy and cooperation that has been existing among security agencies in Kebbi State, and particularly for their efforts in the fight against drug abuse.
In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullah Shehu, NTA News.
Time now to join Abubakar in our Maiduguri Network Center for the continuation of Nationwide. Good evening, Abubakar. It's over to you.
Good evening, DG, and thanks for joining us in Maiduguri. Religious and community leaders, youth and women groups in Borno State are being mobilized to play their part in the reintegration of children and low-risk repentant combatants in their various communities. This came up during a consultative meeting with the stakeholders jointly organized by the Borno State Ministry of Local Government and Emirate Affairs and that of Women Affairs and Social Development in collaboration with UNICEF. Milka Al-Malam has more on the story.
United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, funded by European Union, have continued to support Borno State government in the implementation of numerous activities across the state. The program attracted community and religious leaders, youth and women groups in various communities of Bama, Kondiga, Mafa, Dikwa, Jere, Goza and MNC local government areas of Borno State. Chief of Maiduguri Field Office, Paul Tinguyen, noted that the support and influence of religious leaders is necessary, hence the need for the program to orient the participants on reconciliation and reintegration, as well as assure the organization's continued support to Borno State government.
It is very important that we are working with the religious leaders
to make sure that they embrace these children formerly associated with armed groups to come back into the community and to be accepted by the community.
Reintegration specialist UNICEF Edwin Dobor, project assistant IOM Mohammed Nasser, and community security analyst Usman during their presentations urged participants to raise awareness in the community, places of worship and youth centers, and sensitize the community on acceptance and mitigation of stigmatization of ex-combatants, and assured that the organization will continue to render support to UNICEF to achieve its set objectives. Issues raised by the participants during discussion session were major challenges associated with reintegration, but they promised to put in their best towards achieving the desired goal. Communication specialist UNICEF Panchanan Achari thanked the Borno State Ministries of Local Government and Emirate Affairs and that of Women Affairs and Social Development, as well as the participants for their continuous collaboration. In Maiduguri, Milka Ramalam, NTA News.
As River Gadabul in Maiduguri rages again, fear grips many over prediction of impending devastation of the water. Pauline Kujevana has a current situation.
River Gadabul in Maiduguri, Borno State capital, has been creating since its outflows this rainy season, as quite a number of houses were submerged with loss of lives. The river, which flows to the brim, historically comes unaware, destroying properties and houses, with families in the affected areas already displaced or taking refuge with loved ones.
We are urging government to come to our aid, and one of our sons died. The dead body is nowhere to be found.
According to a diver, while on the process of rescue mission of a young man who was drowned by the river, came across 9 unknown dead bodies. As every passing day, the river rages havoc on lives of the residents through capsizing of canoe or those who gone to do other activities by the banks, and call for government intervention to safeguard lives and property.
I'm a resident of this area, a diver, who are coming seeking for corpses of their relatives.
Meanwhile, NSCDC has deployed its personnel on the river banks to regulate the canoe navigation business and other activities to address the water challenges, having consumed more than 50 people.
There is supposed to be enforcement of the regulations to prevent all this mess. Otherwise, year in, year out, we're going to witness this.
Water, they say, has no enemy, but can find its way anytime. Hence, the need to avoid harmful and illegal practices for free flow of it. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
Thanks indeed, Pauline. If you're just joining us, you're entering nationwide on Africa's window to the world, Nigerian Television Authority. Let us at this point take a break, but Ayodeji in Abuja will be back with another set of stories for us shortly.
Harmony of biodiversity before building climate crisis and crime phases.
Dicey situation indeed. Yet we carry on like a bull in a china shop.
On environment matters, we take the bull by the horns, comb the nooks and cranny of Nigeria.
Asking tough questions.
Examining challenges and opportunities.
Giving human face to the science, facts, faiths and global agreements. It's a call for action. Don't miss it.
Join award-winning environmental journalist Jennifer Igwe and other NTA Eco reporters for Environment Matters.
Oh boy, this one where I read, you carry machete, you see carry gun, wetin you want take am do sef?
After the para like this, I don't vex.
Oh boy, calm down now.
Like this, see like this, I dey go scatter those two businesses. You know say they get fed up with our people businesses, eh? You don't see am? Say, and they go there, they go Africa, and they go like, and they go show them better craze. They never see anything.
If you destroy their own for here, and they destroy your people for that side, especially that your brother where they send you money, that way don't block. Oh. How you go take survive? See,
this way talk na true. But I still dey vex. Calm down. Make we embrace peace. Peace and unity. Every person.
My people, make we gum body with peace and unity. Make we learn to live as brothers and sisters, so that the country will still move go permanent sides. This message from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. What are we doing as a nation to first of all settle our teeming populace, especially the
NTA's political package with a third eye on the nation's political scene? I'm Fisal.
You have to be very careful giving space to people who are obviously sponsored to further the agenda of some other groups.
A lot of questions. Close those sessions. Some of these issues, some of the problems bedeviling the overall. In fact, between June 1st and July 17th, 19.something billion has left the coffers of the NDC. I can say my constituency, they need everything. Because we don't have anything.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, Go TV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Welcome back. The coalition of civil society groups has initiated a national debate platform for students of tertiary institutions to chart a new course ahead of 2023. The body says the platform will articulate various issues across sectors with a view to identifying challenges and proffering solutions for a better, stronger and more united Nigeria.
The essence of this debate is to project the prayer of women Nigerians to the public, logically and intellectually engage in issue-based documents and project templates that will solve the uprising leadership, security, and economic issues threatening the success, unity, progress, and corporate coexistence of Nigeria.
The group also affirms that the debate will promote burning issues critical to the survival of the country, with intellectual property of participants key to redefining the pathways.
2023 Northern or Southern Presidency, panacea to national peace, unity and progress of Nigeria. The second topic, Nigeria's 62nd Independence Anniversary, dissecting the leadership performance of democratic dispensation since 1999.
The platform also intends to address new ways of inculcating national values in youth and students across the country. Nigeria has been able to create a strong pathway to integrate traditional, complementary and integrated medicine into its national health system. Key players in this critical component of healthcare are galvanizing advocacy for the passage of the Traditional Medicine Council Bill that is before the National Assembly in recognition of its importance to achieving universal health coverage. Olusheye Adiagbo reports.
Traditional medicine has a long history globally and in Africa. The World Health Organization's report confirms that 80% of the continent's population relies on this practice of medicine for basic health needs. For more than 2 decades now, African Traditional Medicine Day has been marked to honor the integral role of traditional, complementary and integrative medicine in the health and welfare of generations of people on the continent. Nigeria has been active in the celebration, and Federal Ministry of Health is using this year's events to honor individuals and partners for their commitment in developing various forms of traditional medicine in the country.
I dedicate this award to all the people who believe in herbal medicine. The hope is that things should be better. We hope that next thing is the council should be established, because once there is a council, it's easy for us to regulate the practice. The next most important step in Nigeria is to pass the Traditional Medicine Council Bill, which has been in the National Assembly since 2006.
The Nigerian Television Authority was also applauded with exceptional award for its content to support the cause of the practice.
NTA is committed to promoting and creating awareness of whatever that is our own.
This year's event is themed 2 decades of African Traditional Medicine Day, progress towards achieving universal health coverage in Africa. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiago, NTA News.
Ibadan is our next stop on Nationwide, and Kemi will be our guide. It's over to you, Kemi.
Thank you, Ayodeji, and welcome to Ibadan. The federal government is set to revamp the nation's laboratory technology in line with global standard. This was made known at the evaluation of science laboratory technology and maintenance of equipment by the Nigerian Institute of Science Laboratory Technology. Kaijo Ladushu has the details.
With the mandate to advance science laboratory technology in Nigeria through practical analysis in finding solutions to critical issues in the society, the Nigerian Institute of Science Laboratory Technology, through capacity strengthening for science laboratory technologists in line with global trends, set its focus on evaluation, performance and maintenance of laboratory equipment in Nigeria.
A good standard laboratory, any information or data coming from such laboratory is supposed to be accurate, reliable and reproducible.
Now, talking about science, technology and innovation, if there is a enabling environment, I said we have the human capacity, we have the natural resources.
The opinion of the participants at the gathering was that continuous training of personnel is key to boosting desired maintenance of laboratory equipment.
The training of that personnel, the person must know about the structure of the lab, architectural design of the lab, what the lab is supposed to entail, and equipment that's supposed to be in the laboratory, the infrastructure, and of course the documentation, which is SOP, that's supposed to be used in the laboratory for the equipment and the facility to get good results.
Giving attention to science laboratory technology as the hub of science, research and development, it was a consensus at the 2 days event that the federal government is on the track for advancement of the sector across the country. In Ibadan, Kaijo Ladushu, NTA News.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, in October 2021 launched Nigeria's central bank digital currency, e-Naira, to reduce cash inflow in the country and encourage electronic bank transaction for all. With the launch of the USSD code recently by the CBN to enable Nigerians enjoy e-Naira, Ahmed Fulani examines the benefits and difficulties of using the electronic bank transaction.
Nigeria became the first African country to introduce a digital currency that will be used in lieu of cash as a means of business transaction. The policy is aimed at promoting and facilitating financial inclusion, enable direct welfare disbursement to citizens, as well as facilitate diaspora remittances, which in turn will boost the country's economy. Although described by financial experts as a lofty economic plan to reduce risk attached to carry currency in cash, inadequate sensitization and poor network system encountered are major hindrances militating against e-Naira.
The CBN will be able to regulate our level of Naira with the dollar.
Any money that moves through the payment system, electronic payment system, online payment system, it's easy for the regulator to track.
Tunde Majason, who knows about e-Naira, is not convinced Nigeria is ready for the policy yet and wants the country to fully upgrade to 5G network for e-Naira to be successful.
I have data. I want to even transfer money now. I cannot do. They should work on our level of technology.
While e-Naira has numerous benefits for the country and its citizens, it will not be within the reach of Nigerians living in rural areas who are not conversant with technology. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria has unveiled the USSD code for the country's digital currency e-Naira, which is *997#. The code, according to the Apex Bank, will help deepen financial inclusion as all transactions can be accessed through the channel. Ahmed Fulani, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Back to Ayodeji in Abuja for more reports on Nationwide.
Thanks, Kemi, in our Ibadan Network Center. Let's go for a break on Nationwide. When we return, there will be more reports. Do stay with us.
Are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dssPR@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
I'm fascinated with the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and
the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value in our own cultural values.
It's not a COVID-19.
Inauguration 1897 was a deliberate calculation.
Many of these people coming to the urban areas now.
These applications, there are terms and conditions.
Of course, it is the union of two people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Nambo Diko.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori.
Thanks for staying tuned. Remember that this newscast is live on our website nta.ng/live and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. The Federal Road Safety Corps has refuted rumors making the rounds in some sections of the media on the possession and use of firearms. In a statement, the Corps says the viral image showing one of its personnel posing with a rifle from Sister Security Agency in 2018 was condemned and appropriate sanctions meted on the officer. The acting Corps Marshal Dauda Bill appealed to the public to disregard the recirculated image as FRSC is committed towards ensuring safety on Nigerian roads in line with best practices. Parents and students in Zamfara State have made a passionate appeal to the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities to urgently reconcile the 6-month-long strike in the interest of the nation. Jamilu Ibrahim completes the story.
Federal University Gusau campus, it has become a shadow of itself, and this replica of what is obtained in almost all the campuses of the public universities across the country. The recent declaration of total and indefinite strike by the ASU National Executive Council has obviously aggravated the tension of the students and their parents, as the opening of the universities seems not to be in sight.
Because the closure of the universities has caused a lot of symptoms, especially in crime. The crime rate has gone up. Ask the police, they will tell you. So what happens? It has to be stopped. The universities have to be opened.
We want to develop technologically, we want to advance economically, but yet our children are still lingering at home. With this insecurity happening everywhere in Nigeria, you allow children, kids, without going anywhere for 7 months. It's really uncalled for. The respondents who expressed divergent opinion on the situation, they are however unanimous in their call to the federal government and the ASU to urgently reconcile in the best interest of the nation.
ASU should try to understand the essence, because what they are doing now affects only the low-income earners. People like me, like you, like those who cannot send their children out of the country.
We have the Council of State. We have other stakeholders. The former presidents can intervene. Members of the National Assembly can also intervene. I don't see any reason why, this crisis of ASU and the federal government should be allowed to continue.
I appeal to both parties to go back to their negotiation table in order to resolve this issue, so that we, the students, can go back to our campuses to continue with our academic activities.
The ASU Secretary General of Federal University Gusau Chapter, Dr. Al-Amin Lawal, who opined that the demands of the lecturers are largely being misconceived by the general public, however said the union is still open to sincere negotiation with the federal government.
We have made it clear that the strike is not about money, it's about revitalization of the universities and making our universities competitive globally.
Most of the respondents are however optimistic that with the involvement of more respected individuals, groups and organizations in the call for urgent and amicable settlement between the two parties, the protracted industrial action will soon be over. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Closing gaps in the educational sector in Yobe State is the interest of key stakeholders in a retreat to restore lost glory after insurgency. The one-day retreat is to develop operational guidelines by Yobe State Education Trust Fund that will lay a solid foundation for the fund's smooth takeoff. Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports.
It seems that the Northeast will be remembered for a long time to come in the insurgency that ravaged the region. Yobe, one of the states in the region, declared a state of emergency on education to raise quality in the sector, which by record is disadvantaged even before the insecurity issues, a development that necessitated the establishment of the Education Trust Fund.
Today's occasion therefore is a clear testimony of our commitment and focus on the land a solid platform for our multifaceted development pursuits with the intent of raising the quality of our education to give up the necessary impetus.
The task of building the education sector in that state lies with the Trust Fund, and the members constituted to handle the fund pledged commitment and are optimistic of positive results. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
The federal government has assured the Projects Development Initiative PRODA Enugu State of its support towards realizing its mandate of promoting the establishment of indigenous industrial projects through research. The Minister of State Science, Technology and Innovation, Henry Iko, gave the assurance in Enugu during the familiarization tour inspection of facilities at the institute. Chidi Okorafor reports.
The Project Development Institute, PRODA, situated in Enugu, is saddled with the mandate of carrying out research in industrial materials and processes for pilot plant stages, which include engineering, design, development, fabrication, among others. The Minister of State for Science, Technology and Innovation, Enrico, assured that the ministry and PRODA will synergize and partner private sectors to ensure that research are commercialized in order to create employment for the teeming youths. The minister reiterated the need to produce and source raw materials locally rather than importation.
If we can research and give it to PRODA, we need to also get people, private sector, every economy, everywhere in the world. For you to grow, you must work with the private sector. Anything you think that the ministry can help you to do, we will do that.
The Director General, Project Development Institute, PRODA, Dr. Peter Okubilichukwu Yobe, while enumerating the challenges facing the institute, solicited for support, noting that science, technology, and innovations hold the key to the progress and development of any nation.
The makes a point of restoration, improvement in the supply and real economic growth, and that future steps. And institutes is at the forefront so that person will economy for better.
The minister and his entourage inspected the equipment in engineering, ceramics department of PRODA, among others. In Enugu, Chidi Okrafo, NTA News.
In the meantime, Ebonyi State Governor has flagged off a 2.6 billion naira empowerment program to further drive President Buhari's policies on employment and creating an enabling environment for businesses in the state to thrive. Chika Okori reports.
The 2.6 billion naira being disbursed to people for their small-scale businesses was jointly raised by the federal and state government as part of the offshoot of the NSAS palliative. Governor David Umahi, who revealed that about 3,480 Ebonyi people will receive at least a minimum of 300,000 naira each from the fund, urged them to support the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) to win the next year's general elections landslide.
We know business conference, and we set aside money to empower our brothers and sisters, our mothers and fathers. And this is the first stage of it. We have a total of 2.6 billion power.
The state deputy governor, who is also chairman of the empowerment program, Dr. Kelechi Igwe, urged the beneficiaries to utilize the fund wisely. Some of the beneficiaries were presented with checks at the event. In Abakaliki, Chika Okori, NTA News.
The wife of Ondo State Governor Betsy Anyanwu Akeredolu says a 2-week intensive training for girls from 18 local government areas of the state is to expose them to ICT and other scientific knowledge, which is the building block for a better Nigeria. Abiola Ario reports.
There will be more summer boot camp is an initiative of the wife of the Ondo State Governor, Mrs. Betsy Anyanwu Akeredolu, geared towards closing gender gap and aiding the empowerment of the 21st century Nigerian girl child with the right knowledge and skills to impact the society positively. After a 2-week impactful training on various skills such as installation of solar power, ICT and artwork, among others, these girls can boldly say they are change agents in their world.
I'm actually a very good dancer, and I was actually able to improve in my dancing skills and much more things. I learned taekwondo before. I can't stand before the camera, but you know, I've taught me how to be good. Even when I see the camera, I can get on my feet.
Convener and wife of Ondo State Governor, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu expressed confidence in the ability of the Bimo girls to change their world with the life-enhancing skills they have acquired. Deputy Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, among other dignitaries, urged the graduates to make good use of the lifetime opportunity.
Use your power. Make it happen and impact your world positively. To know that you do negative how the world there, on the front line, the gospel of the well-being side or some sector.
Highlight of the event were presentations of cash and gift prizes to outstanding graduates, as well as various presentations by the Bimo girls. In Akure, Abiola Rio, NTA News.
The Center for Research and Historical Documentation, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, also known as Arewa House, in the build-up to its annual lecture, says Nigeria's travails can be traced to colonialism. Suleiman Rigachikun reports.
The nation of Southern and Northern Protectorate in 1914 is misconceived by many as the foundation of Nigeria's unity in diversity.
When the British saw that the nationalists are fast-tracking the decolonizing processes, and eventually they crafted or orchestrated the Richard Constitution. And the Richard Constitution actually is one of the major factors that actually saw the seeds of regional politics into the body politic of Nigeria. And up to now, our political elite, because of their ignorance of the historical process and the main objective and goal of the Richard Constitution, they continue to promote politics within the lens of ethnicity or regionalism.
To reorient Nigerians and the world of the socio-cultural, economic and political fusion among and between the diverse ethnic nationalities prior to British colonization, Center for Historical Research and Documentation, Arewa House, Kaduna, convenes a public lecture for historical scholars to speak to issues of diversity and national unity.
What we need to understand or want to realize, which is very critical, is we have to understand long before the British came into Nigeria, there is a lot of intermingling, there is a lot of fusion between the diverse ethnic that every region said. There was trade contact, there was a lot of social contact, cultural contact.
The public lecture on contemporary Nigerian politics and the ghost of the politics of the independence struggle will also conscientize Nigerians on the neglected positive historical antecedents of social theatrics within the Nigerian area and the need to revert to old values of mutual trust and respect for one another. Suleiman Rigachikun, NTA News.
The federal government says it remains committed to promoting and protecting the human rights of all Nigerians at home and abroad. The special advisor to the president on policy and coordination, Habiba Lawal, stated this while inaugurating an interministerial committee on the 4th United Nations Universal Periodic Review of Human Rights Situations in the country on behalf of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Mitsairi Ipmen has the details.
The United Nations Universal Periodic Review affords all 193 member states to declare what actions they have taken to improve the human rights situations in their countries. The human rights peer review process also aims to provide technical assistance to member states and enhance their capacity to deal effectively with human rights violations. Nigeria has been peer reviewed 3 times in 2009, 2013 and 2018, with a 4th cycle review due in 2024. This interministerial committee has the responsibility of preparing and submitting a draft country report that will include steps taken so far to implement outstanding recommendations on human rights.
I have no doubt that the review of the implementation of our accepted recommendation of the 3rd review cycle and the draft 4th country report will reflect the true position of the human rights situations in the country.
We intend to take this assignment very seriously, and we realize that it requires hard work, sacrifice, and commitment.
The
the Solicitor General of the Federation co-chairs the committee with the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Gabriel Aduda. Mutaire Ikben, NTA News.
The secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has called on religious leaders in the country to pray for the nation and its leaders for prosperity. He made the call during a church service marking the retirement of Chief Judge of Adamawa State, Justice Nathan Musa, after attaining 65 years of age, held at St. Monica Lutheran Church of Christ Cathedral in Yola, Adamawa State. Correspondent Simon Asha reports.
It is often said in life, there is always a time to live and a time to die. And in between is a privilege to live to the glory of God and humanity. The liturgical retirement church service in honor of Justice Nathan Musa at the St. Monica Lutheran Church of Christ Cathedral in Yola is a testament to this effect, as friends, family members, among other dignitaries within and outside Adamawa State, to include the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, converge in praise and thanksgiving to God Almighty for his guidance and protection on the retiring Chief Judge of Adamawa State.
I trusted in the God and tried to do the right thing at the right time.
While blessing the retiring Chief Judge and his family, the Archbishop, Lutheran Church of Christ in Nigeria, LCCN, and President, Lutheran Federation, Musa Philippus, enjoined him to see his retirement as an opportunity to redirect his life to the service of God Almighty. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, commended Justice Nathan Musa for his milestone achievement and called on the people, especially religious leaders, to always pray fervently for the country and those in position of authority for the good of all.
On behalf of Nathan Musa and his family, we want to thank you for constantly upholding those of us and the blessings of responsibility in prayer and with counsel and guidance.
A dinner marking his 65th birthday was held at the banquet hall Yola as guests dine and wine in merriment with a valedictory session earlier held in his honor as judges from the nooks and crannies of the society, with Governor Ahmadu Marufin III of Adamawa State gathered to bid farewell to a judge described by many as a Jewish by excellence. In Yola, Simon Asha, NTA News.
For the automotive industry in Nigeria to contribute the projected 10% to the nation's GDP, the right credit mix and policies must be activated in order to create enabling environments for existing assembling plants to thrive. Experts say the starting point should be to address the pricing barrier, which tends to limit patronage. Michael Olaleye reports.
The policy document on the National Automotive Industry Development Plan gives a clear insight into the actualization of Nigeria's path to having a robust and indigenous automobile industry. The initiative was expected to create employment for the teeming youth and make Nigeria a force to reckon with in the area of research, design and development. But since its approval in 2014, stakeholders say result has been relatively low.
56 companies were licensed to assemble vehicles locally in Nigeria. There are only about 6 that are barely pooping.
For Abiodun Oshokoya, who has a stake in the repair and maintenance subsector of the industry, the policy has not delivered expected results simply because none of the raw materials used by assembling plants for production are sourced within.
All over the world, everybody's assembling. But the basic things we need locally to make the automobile industry go viable are the parts. Where are the parts? We are importing. Why can't we have investors in that particular area?
Although government's intervention in form of increasing tariff and duties of foreign used vehicles is a move targeted at increasing the patronage of vehicles assembled in the country, but how has pricing hampered expected progress?
If you want to assemble vehicles in Nigeria and you want the Nigerian populace to patronize it, It also means that there must be, an avenue whereby the average Nigerian will be able to afford such vehicles. So there should be the issue of also financing.
While automotive service technicians like Abiodun Oshokoya are suggesting strengthening capacity in the production of vehicle components like tires and fuel pumps, research institutions are entrenching policies that will promote 100% local content in vehicle production, just like what entails at the University of Lagos, where an electric car and solar-powered vehicle charging station was unveiled.
These are the lifeblood of everything we're trying to achieve. It is, after all, a proven fact among advanced nations that the key to successful industrialization is strategic human capital and capacity development in state-of-the-art technology.
The potential in the automotive industry is huge, but as a starting point, stakeholders say policy should be translated into action. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Despite crashing out of 2023 Championship of African Nations CHAN qualification, football fans believe the Super Eagles team B can still find their way moving forward. The Club Service Yusuf team fell 4-5 from penalties to Black Arrows of Ghana in Saturday's second leg qualifier in Abuja after cancelling out a 2-goal deficit in regulation time.
Let's not admit that we need to prepare early. We need to take our chances when it matters most. If they had buried those 2 chances they had in the first half, it would have been a different story, as we are saying today.
Meanwhile, while the presidential aspirants in the forthcoming NFF elections, Christian Emeruwa says the mission is to promote and develop the game of football in the country. Emeruwa said this while addressing journalists in Lagos.
To show the practical things that can be done in football and how we can use it to transform even our internal economy and make Nigeria one of the best football federations in the world.
And finally, Nigeria recorded a second consecutive loss at the ongoing Under-19 Girls African Nations Volleyball Championship in Abuja Saturday evening. The hosts lost 0-3 in straight sets, 22-25, 14-25 and 22-25 to Egypt. Egypt and the fellow champions Cameroon have both recorded 1 victory each and will face each other Sunday evening at the 8-door sports hall of Moshood Abiola National Stadium in a battle to determine who wins the tournament, having also booked their tickets to the 2023 FIVB Volleyball Girls Under-19 World Championship. That's Sports Update. I am Kevin Iman, NTA News.
Sincere apologies for the audio quality of the sports updates. And that's nationwide. We thank you for watching. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Please remember to connect with the NTA and stand against rape and rapists. On behalf of the entire production crew, good evening.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's not fight in each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter.